U.S. President Donald Trump has ordered the United States to withdraw from dozens of international organizations, marking one of the most sweeping retreats from global institutions in modern American history. The move affects 66 international bodies, nearly half of which are linked to the United Nations system, including several that play a central role in addressing climate change, development, and global security. Among the most significant withdrawals is the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change, UNFCCC, the treaty that forms the foundation of nearly all international efforts to combat global warming. The U.S. has also pulled out of the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, or IPCC, widely regarded as the world's leading authority on climate science and assessment. The decision extends beyond climate-focused institutions. A wide range of organizations involved in development assistance, gender equality, democratic governance, and conflict prevention are also affected. These areas have repeatedly been criticized by the Trump administration as promoting what it calls globalist or woke agendas that do not align with U.S. national priorities. In a statement released by the White House, officials said the withdrawals followed an internal review which concluded that many of the organizations no longer served American interests and represented a misuse of public funds. The memorandum authorizing the decision was signed on Wednesday and described the affected bodies as a waste of taxpayer dollars. These withdrawals will end American taxpayer funding and involvement in entities that prioritize globalist agendas over the interests of the United States, the White House said. It added that many of the organizations promote what it described as radical climate policies, expanded global governance structures, and ideological programs that conflict with U.S. sovereignty, economic strength, and domestic priorities. In addition to UN-linked institutions, several non-UN organizations have also been targeted. These include bodies focused on clean energy cooperation, democratic institutions, and international security, such as the International Solar Alliance, the International Institute for Democracy and Electoral Assistance, and the Global Counterterrorism Forum. President Trump has long expressed hostility toward multilateral organizations and international agreements, particularly those related to climate change. He has previously dismissed the scientific consensus on human-caused global warming, at times referring to it as a hoax, and has already cut funding to a number of international bodies during both of his terms in office. Legal experts note that while the U.S. Constitution allows presidents to enter treaties with the approval of 2/3 of the Senate, it does not clearly outline the process for withdrawing from them. As a result, Trump's latest move could face legal challenges, especially where congressional approval was originally required. These withdrawals follow a series of similar actions taken over the past year. The U.S. has already exited the Paris Climate Agreement for a second time and declined to send a delegation to the COP30 climate summit in Brazil. Washington has also withdrawn from the World Health Organization, the UN Human Rights Council, and UNESCO, the UN's cultural and educational agency. The decision has drawn sharp criticism from European leaders and international officials who warn it could undermine global cooperation at a time of growing climate, health, and security challenges. EU Climate Commissioner Wopke Hoekstra said the UNFCCC is a cornerstone of global climate action and described the U.S. decision as regrettable and unfortunate. Meanwhile, EU Vice President Teresa Ribera said the move showed a lack of concern for the environment, public health, and human suffering. Criticism has also come from within the United States. Rachel Cletus, Senior Policy Director at the Union of Concerned Scientists, described the withdrawals as a new low for U.S. leadership on the global stage. Speaking to the AFP news agency, she said the decision was further evidence that the administration was willing to sacrifice public well-being, undermine science, and destabilize international cooperation.